This episode of The Casual is brought to you in part by Squarespace. From websites and online stores to all the marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace delivers it in an all-around package so you can build an easy, streamlined, and beautiful online presence. What up, everybody? It's your boy Reggie Casual, and welcome to WTH, where we break down the history, mantra, and method of designers, brands, and the industry at large. Today, we are talking Nike. And instead of giving you a comprehensive background that you pretty much know about Nike, how about 7 facts and a whole bunch of info in those facts that every true Nike fan should know? I think we can do that. I'm up for it. Let's get it. All right, so let's start this off right. Before Nike was Nike, it was Blue Ribbon Sports, started by one Bill Bowerman, a track and field coach at the University of Oregon, and his student Phil Knight in 1964. Particularly known for its distribution of Japanese running shoes, Onitsuka Tiger, the company changed its name to Nike Incorporated and went public in 1978. Speaking of the name, despite contention among those who speak the Queen's English and those in America, Phil Knight has officially confirmed that Nike is the truest pronunciation of the brand named after the Greek goddess of victory. This confirmation was solidified, put in stone when students Ben Martin and Kendall Peters wrote a letter to Phil Knight himself asking which pronunciation was the correct one. But it still hasn't stopped many from calling it what they've been calling it for years in the good old UK. How about the first shoe? The very first shoe by Nike was a concept designed by Bowerman with a waffle sole he made from his wife's waffle iron. This concept would eventually become the first version of the waffle racer, dubbed the Moon Shoe, featuring for the very first time the swoosh logo. In 1972, the Nike Cortez was released, which was the first to feature foam for cushioning and took a ton of cues from Onitsuka Tiger because the Cortez was originally an Onitsuka Tiger shoe. The Cortez was actually called the TG24 and debuted in 1966. It was designed by none other than Bill Bowerman in tandem with Onitsuka Tiger. In fact, Nike would eventually win a court case that allowed them to use the Cortez name on the newly Nike Cortez in 1974. Onitsuka Tiger eventually rebranded the shoe that they had, the TG24, the Corsair, and the rest is history. How about the logo? The Nike logo was designed by Portland State University student Caroline Davidson in 1971. Phil Knight approached her to design the logo for $2 an hour, a ridiculous bargain even for the time. The logo took all but 17 hours and some change to create what came out to be about $35 USD. Account for inflation, and this logo, one of the most iconic in the world, cost Nike $221.31. Chump change for any studied designer. The logo draws its inspiration from the Greek goddess of victory that Nike is named after, and the good old check, the universal sign of victory on term papers. Oh, and Nike paid Carolyn back later with 500 shares of Nike stock, which is worth about $1 million plus today. Not bad for 17 hours of work. Nike's slogan is etched into the memory of nearly every single person who's ever witnessed anything Nike. But it came from a time Nike dropped the ball. In the 1980s, Reebok was killing it in aerobics. And if any of you out there know about the 80s and aerobics, it was much like how yoga is now, but everywhere. And Nike wasn't a part of it. So out of desperation, Nike had to come up with a campaign that targeted everyone. So in 1987, Nike enlisted the talents of advertising firm Wieden & Kennedy. Long story short, Dan Wieden, owner of the firm, combined 2 iconic phrases from 2 individuals on opposite ends of the spectrum. One, a man on death row, and the other, the First Lady of the United States. Before being executed, Gary Gilmore's last words were, "Let's do it." Dan Wieden combined that with Nancy Reagan's Just Say No campaign in the 80s and dropped the hammer with Just Do It for Nike in 1988. How about sponsorships? We all know Nike has sponsored some of the most iconic athletes and institutions of our time. Tiger Woods, Kobe Bryant, Kevin Durant, Michael Johnson, Mia Hamm, Serena Williams, the entire NFL and NBA, and so much more. Now there's important ones that I haven't mentioned yet, so breathe easy, chaps. Give it a sec, I'll get to them. There's a point to be made later. The very first person to be sponsored by Nike, however, was Romanian tennis player Ilie Nastase. I'm not sure if I said that right, but it's him. And the first runner was Bowerman pupil Steve Prefontaine. But the most prized Nike sponsees get the coveted lifetime deals that net hundreds of millions of dollars, of only which 3 athletes have officially under the Nike banner. One, the GOAT himself, Michael Jeffrey Jordan, who is basically printable money on demand and has netted hundreds of millions for and from Nike already. 2, the GOAT in training, LeBron James, who inked his lifetime deal not too long ago, which will net him a cool $1 billion by the time he's 64. Not that he'll need it. And 3, football phenom Cristiano Ronaldo, of which I note is ridiculously unfair to all of us. Here's quite possibly the most famous man on earth, plays the most popular sport on earth, and looks like the universe poured every ounce of perfection into one person. But I digress, he also has a lifetime deal with Nike. No person on earth is luckier. Nobody. Name the person. Let's talk design. While Nike employs some of the best designers around the world, few have been more influential to Nike's success than 2. The originator, Bill Bowerman, and the man that would eventually be Nike's trump card, Tinker Hatfield. Tinker, he too a University of Oregon alum, joined Nike in 1981 and eventually ended up in shoe design using his skills in architecture. Now Tinker is responsible for some of the most iconic shoes of all time, let alone Nike's. The Air Trainer 1, the Air Max 1, the Air Max 90, all of the Jordans from 3 to 15, plus 20 and 23. And he helped co-design the Air Jordan 2010 and the Jordan 30. And Nike never forgets. They immortalized Tinker, in shoe form no less, with his very own Nike React, dubbed the Tinker Hatfield. And that's what you should know about the brand with the swoosh. Let us know any facts you think should also be on this list, or shocker if anything was wrong, maybe some of the dates, whatever. Or maybe just your general thoughts on Nike in the comments. And if you're looking to build a website, you know we gotta shout out our homies over there at Squarespace. You can save 10% on your next website or domain by using our link squarespace.com/thecasual. You'll get a free trial, major tools like analytics and email marketing. We use it, it's awesome. And now you can sell products from your shop directly on Instagram, which is clutch if you are starting a brand. You know we like talking about starting brands over here and stuff. And if you need help with all of this, Squarespace has some of the best customer support in the business. So go ahead and use our code, squarespace.com/thecasual. Start today, do your thing. As always, give a thumbs up if you like this video. Follow your boy and The Casual at Reggie Casual and thecasual.co on Instagram. So subscribe. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. But most importantly, keep it locked right here for all of your info on international street fashion and culture from Tokyo. It's your boy, and keep it casual. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. And I'll see you guys in a minute.